Welcome to Like Pigs in Space, a podcast, an arts and culture and other stuff podcast. I'm Aaron Mason. I'm the dad, and
This is Max Mason, and I'm the son
all right.
from
This week,
full time.
it's Max's turn
It is
to. So
Yeah. Might as well just get right into it.
okay,
Not that there's a lot to cover, but I think it should be good. I guess
well,
yeah.
it'll be like it's a good 3 minutes somebody can spend. So no.
Yeah.
All
Hopefully.
right. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll start with a question. That seems to be our theme so far, starting with the question. And I hate to stretch the confines of our podcast already, but I'm going to start with this question. Is video games art?
Oh. Well, hey, I would have to say yes. I think I think there's a lot of art in it. So, and even not being a gamer, I've grown up with the early video games, and I still think there's a lot of art to it,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I think there are, and I think especially today, especially with how games have progressed and how they've become more story. A lot of bigger games have become more story based. It lends itself to a lot more artistic expression. Um, Even just outside of the design and graphics and how the game actually looks, the story of a lot of games is very artistic and sometimes inspirational or heart-wrenching or
Yeah. That is what I noticed, and I've been watching a lot of video games that Veronica has been playing, and so I am exposed to quite a number of different styles too.
yeah.
And some of them are very interesting, and some of them are crazy, and some of my favorite ones are crazy. So
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna talk a little bit about just video games and what I think their introduction into my life has been. At least what I remember the most. Before I get onto what I'm actually gonna talk about.
all right.
But I think for me, it's probably, if my timeline matches up, probably Christmas of 2005. I think that's the Christmas, and we, as a family, got the PlayStation 2.
I think that's probably close. Yeah.
I looked it up. The PlayStation 2 actually came out in 2000, so I brought a little late, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Before that, we played like computer games pretty often. There was Flash games on the internet, and we also played I remember there being like a Jimmy Neutron game and the Carnivores Dinosaur Hunter one, which is still really fun. I every once in a while I try to look for a download of it somewhere, and it seems like a lot of the games I really loved as a child and played on the computer a lot are the most obscure games that are just impossible to find nowadays.
Yeah, they were the ones that were just kind of we ended up with them, not really, except for the ones that were the educational ones, because we did a lot of those, and and we did more of them because the series that we got you was kind of crazy and fun and not too stupid. So
Was that like the Pajama Sam ones?
Yeah. We could stand you playing it. That's why
Right.
That's mostly what it was.
Not like leapfrog games or anything that were kind of harsh sometimes.
Yeah.
The outside
and
observer.
Just unpleasant because they just exactly that.
So yeah, I think the PlayStation 2 is what was and still is like a pretty magical system, especially for a lot of people my age and my generation. I think it's kind of what sparked a lot of people in my generation into liking video games, if that was the system they got. I think it also started like a huge divide between gamers because the PlayStation 2 came out, and pretty short after that is when the Xbox came out.
Right.
And like even to this day, a lot of people are still either team PlayStation or team Xbox. Like they won't buy the other station no matter what, even though it's not, they're
Right.
adults now. It doesn't matter. Like you don't need to seem cool to your friends, but they're just like, I've always had a PlayStation, and that's just what I'm going to keep going with.
It seems like there's that divide in each era. For ours, it was some would have Atari and some would be really pushing ColecoVision. So, and like, oh, look, this is cool because it has these little cards that you can put in the player, and so you get new controls for everything. And you're like, yeah, you lose the card, and then the thing is done.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. I'll stay with the Atari. It's a little less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think kind of like what we were talking about last week. Like if you find someone who likes pink water, you can tell a lot about them already.
Yes.
I think, at least for me, I can tell a lot about someone if they are Xbox or PlayStation people.
Oh.
Mostly in like what you can joke about.
Yeah.
Because like I think Chloe's brothers were more on the Xbox side.
Okay.
So I can make jokes about like Halo and Master Chief, even though I've never played it or never played it extensively. I can make those jokes, and because they know what Halo is, it lands really effectively.
Gotcha.
Do
you feel like there's also personality differences, kind of like if you're seeing somebody that likes alternative music versus country music, that you might have a different approach with them as well?
Yeah. I think with music, you can tell more about how specific someone gets into their genre.
Yeah, that's
like if they're just
true.
like, I like country music, like that's one thing. But if they're like, oh, I like bluegrass or folk music, while it can kind of still fit under that country branch in a way,
right?
The being more specific about it, I think, gives you a different personality and a different insight into what they like and what they pick up on, like lyrically, if lyrics are a big thing for them, or if just the music is enjoyable enough.
That makes sense.
But yeah, the PlayStation, it launched like a lot of really huge titles and popularized even more. So I listed out a few of them of games that like got their start on the PlayStation 2. So we got God of War, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, Devil May Cry, Kingdom Hearts, Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk. I wrote down POP, and I forget what that means. Maybe Prince of Persia, but I don't know if that actually is accurate. Anyways, but other ones that it popularized was like Grand Theft Auto and Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, and technically Call of Duty. Because Call of Duty was already on like computer games, but they had their first console game on the PlayStation and some other stations. But yeah,
that's interesting. Because I always I kind of think of PlayStation as more of the fantasy and like Tony Hawk and those kind of a little bit nicer if you want. And I always think of Xbox as kind of violent,
more like shooters.
So more shooter games.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of these are like more fantasy based things, like God of War is very like Greek mythology and all that. But a lot of these are titles that are still going on today and still releasing games. I wrote down some like other popular games, like the Simpsons Hit and Run. Max Payne was a big one.
Okay.
Lego Star Wars, Bully, Crazy Taxi, and I just remembered Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay.
Which is a really fun game. Like it's kind of obscure, like what your objective is, but you go on these like journeys far away and have to find these massive creatures and take them down somehow.
Oh wow, that sounds interesting.
But yeah, and then the PlayStation had over 10,000 games released for it in the decade and a half or so that they were releasing games for it. But yeah, I think it was the earliest system that I was really interested in. Made video games more a part of my life.
Yeah.
And I made this as just kind of more of a example of how video games can be art. I made a little game show.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a quiz, and I couldn't come up with a good name that made sense. But I
Hmm.
have 5 quotes. I have 10 quotes. 5 of them are from video games, and 5 of them
Okay.
are from classic literature and things like that.
Okay. All
And
right.
you have to decide which is which.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of go in random order. First one: what is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
That actually sounds video game.
Yeah,
And okay, good.
you
Good.
got
All right.
it. So that's from Skyrim,
Oh, well, maybe
um,
that's where I. Okay. Okay. Good.
spoken by Parthenax, who's a dragon.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better.
Oh man. I I'm almost ready to go video game again,
Yeah.
but
Final answer.
yeah, that's my final answer.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That one is from
Okay.
Animal Crossing.
Well, there you go. Now you're proving a point right there.
Mhm.
That's yeah. Good. 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 Okay.
All right. This one might be easy if what you've said that you loved is not a lie.
Oh,
um,
okay.
a man who can't bear to share his habits is a man who needs to quit them.
Really? Okay. I'll say literature.
Yeah. That's from the Dark Tower,
Oh,
the last book.
that's why that's yeah, that's definitely Roland, right?
Hmm. I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Cool.
Yeah. Let's see. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us.
I think that's literature, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where's that from?
that's from Gandalf.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay. Good.
Okay.
That was very familiar.
How about war is when the young and stupid are tricked by the old and bitter into killing each other.
That sounds that well. That actually sounds like a political statement from a band or something. But I'm gonna have to say video game for
Mm-hmm.
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe this is easier than I thought, but
No, I don't think it would be for most. I'm just getting really lucky. So.
yeah. But yeah, that's from GTA 4.
Oh really? Oh, that's okay.
Okay. This is maybe another easy one, but hell is empty and all the devils are here.
I want to say I'm gonna go video game, but I'm probably
Uh,
wrong. Yeah.
no, that one's from Shakespeare.
Oh,
That's Bill Shakespeare.
oh, that's Billy. Okay.
Yeah, from The Tempest.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I should have gamified it and guessed.
Okay, we got 4 more.
Okay.
There are only personal apocalypses. Nothing is a cliche when it's happening to you.
I also want to say video game for
Yeah,
that. Okay.
that's Max Payne. I guess.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I haven't
All
played
right.
it, but
Okay. Cool.
here we go. How about the flow of time is always cruel. Its speed seems different for each person, but no one can change it. A thing that does not change with time is a memory of younger days.
That sounds familiar, so it's got to be literature.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that
Okay.
one is from Ocarina of Time, the Zelda.
Well, there you go. I have sat and listened to you guys play that, so. Okay, cool.
Okay. Okay, how about it is a corrupt thing to live one's life in secret. Oh, sorry, let me try again. It is a corrupt thing to live one's real life in secret. One should live with the stream of life, not against it.
Uh, literature for
Yeah,
that one? Okay.
that's a George Orwell.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it from 1984 or
No,
is it?
it's from Burmese Dreams.
Oh, now I want to go read it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have everything was beautiful and nothing hurt.
I'll say video game for that one.
No,
Oh.
that one's literature. That's Kurt Vonnegut, Slaughterhouse-Five.
Oh, I should have known that one. That sounds like Vonnegut.
Yeah.
So, I just so was that the last one?
That was the last one. Yeah.
So I did 70%, right?
You did 80.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you got 8 out of 10. Pretty good job
Nice.
here.
Thanks.
Give you 80%. Is that like a
Uh,
B plus?
yeah, it's a solid B.
Yeah.
So I'll just stay right there. At the end of the year, I expect my report card to.
I'll have to make more games.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so that's the end game. And so it's not to say that like, oh, because something has a good quote automatically makes it art.
Right. But
But more just to show that it's capable. It's a valid medium for artistic expression.
yeah, I would all of those. If I take all those quotes as a sum, just reading them, I don't think that there was any one of them that was more better than the other. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They all had a very good tone and message. They were all well written. So
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
I also just love things like that, like uh, quotes from weird places.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I know there's the one that's really popular, that people always they cut off the first half for, but it's I will face God and walk backwards into hell.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but that comes from a tweet from this like meme account that was like, if they ban me from the zoo for hollering at the animals, I will face God and walk backwards into hell.
That's a better quote.
Yeah.
That last one's just kind of sounds like a redneck thing, but like a
Yeah.
biker. But
Yeah.
that other quote is just absolute chaos, and I appreciate that more.
Really good. But yeah, so games are cool, games are fun, but I'm not going to really talk about any like objectively good games.
Okay.
Instead, I'm going to talk about an objectively mediocre game.
Okay.
So going back to Christmas, 2005, I think the way that how you guys did it is that we each got our own game as one of our gifts, and we were like, well, this doesn't make sense. We don't have a PlayStation. And then
Yeah.
that was the last gift, like hidden behind the tree was the actual system.
Yep.
And I don't remember what I got. I'm sure it was probably a Tony Hawk game or something like that.
Yeah. Probably that.
But I'm going to talk about the one that I'm pretty sure Vern got, because it is Neopets, the Darkest Faerie.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So a little bit about just Neopets itself, the actual website. I think I had an account, but most of my memories of it are from playing it with Vern or watching her play it the most.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really any clear objective to the website. Like, you had your pets and you were supposed to feed them and play games with them. But also it didn't really matter if you didn't. It would just they wouldn't die. They would just become sad.
Oh.
But you just had tons of mini games where you could earn your Neo points and then try to buy food or buy outfits for your pet. I think it's like one of the first examples or instances in my life of experiencing a jump scare.
Oh.
Yeah, because there was an island you could go to that had this a cave that said like "Do not enter," but of course you're gonna want to enter there, and the screen is you click it and the screen just goes black, and there's like some clicking sounds in the background, and then randomly this like pterodactyl will jump out at you and like bite at the screen.
Oh wow.
And it was always random, like the amount of clicks. I'd be like, okay, is it gonna be this one where he hops out? So pretty basic jump scare, but it was the first one I really remember.
I don't know if it counts as a jump scare, but the first video scare of your life was actually Bear in the Big Blue House. So just I just want to level set there.
I don't remember that though.
Oh man, when that bear started sniffing the screen, it freaked you out.
Yeah.
But okay, all right,
Yeah.
good.
I just saw a clip of Bear in the Big Blue House. It was like an outtake, and it was the little bear and the mouse were talking, and I think the actors were just kind of they're like, we're not going to use this take anyways. So they just start swearing wildly at each other, and they walk off screen, and the big bear is just kind of staring at them and blinking. But they stay in character the whole time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah. But aside from that, aside from being pretty pointless in a way, it had a very clear aesthetic. It had, kingdoms and castles and fairies that were all very well established as parts of the Neopets canon, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the game was. Like it felt like a really honest extension of the Neopets world.
Okay.
And a lot of things were also already really like well understood about the game before it came out. Like a lot of the cities and villages and a lot of the head, or not main characters, but
right,
bigger characters in the game, like kings and stuff, were and
okay,
fairies were on the website already, and well known.
cool. That's good.
If you had played the game. The only things that were really added were the main characters themselves, and the last city at the end of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, so the game starts. You get this little cut scene with this voiceover talking about legends and myths, and as it's going on, you are brought underwater, and you see the statue of this fairy, and she has this necklace around her neck, and it snaps, it like withers away, and the statue's eyes like crack open, and you can see that she's still alive in the statue. So like right at the beginning, you're set up with the stakes and the intrigue, and what's going to be the main conflict for the game.
Okay.
And you get that, you start the game, you start act 1 of the game, and you start with the the hardest part of the entire game, the worst, most frustrating part of the entire game. Oh, man.
Oh no.
It's like if you have patience enough for this first little activity, you can finish the whole game, because it sucks so much.
Oh no, what is it?
You're fighting with your sister, like pretend the main character is like fighting with his sister, and he knocks over a fence, and all their winnies get out, which are like little pig horses.
Okay.
Things, and you have to go and round them up. But you can't pick them up, and if you run at them, they run away. So you have to like sneak behind them and hope that you nudge them in the right direction. But they don't go just straight. Like they will go a little straight. Then they'll dash off in one direction because you didn't sneak enough the right way. It's just
no.
so frustrating right from the very beginning. But if you get past that, it becomes a really good game.
So super tedious, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, so Act 1, you start, and you play as Tor, or Tormund.
Okay.
And he's a loop, which he kind of looks like a fox in a way.
Okay.
Fox wolf kind of guy. And you meet his family, and his neighbors are all there. And you get introduced to a few of the species of Neopets, and not all of them are in this game, because there's a lot of different types of Neopets. But I counted them best I could, and it's about 30% of the ones you could have actual pets of are in the game. So chances are that one of the ones that you might have had a pet of is in the game.
Oh, fun.
And then they're all like anthropomorphized into kind of people looking animals.
Interesting.
Yeah, because like a loop is like basically a wolf fox thing, and so it's on all fours. But to make it a more like adventure kind of game, you had to obviously be able to hold a sword.
Right.
But you kind of just get dropped into the game. There's not really any explanation. You don't really get told how a lot of things work, besides just like you can move around if you want.
Okay.
A lot of things that you'd probably guess you could do right away. But the basic plot of the first act is Tor is given a package to deliver to Meridel, which is the castle kingdom nearby.
Okay.
But it's far from home, and it's his first journey to the city, I think ever, or maybe just by himself. But his parents are like trusting him to deliver this package on his own. And on the way, you help a few folks. You talk to your neighbors, and you can kind of just do whatever you want in a way.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
there's clearly an objective that the game wants you to do, but it doesn't really force you to do it. And so you can kind of just take your time and cut grass and talk to people. And they all have not every neighbor or person you meet has something valuable to say, but they all have something to say.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But yeah, you do that. You help an old beggar, and he gives you this amulet, and is kind of weird about it, but you do it, and you deliver the package to a knight, and the knight recruits you to become a squire. And I don't know if that's because of the package. I think I remember in the game, it kind of seemed like he opens the package and there's a letter from Tor's parents that's like we want our son to become a knight.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't later on, like, it doesn't really track. So I don't know why he's like, oh, thanks for the package. Do you want to be a squire?
Oh, okay. All right.
So he recruits you, but to finish that, you need like a sponsorship. You need to find like a mentor in a way, and then you also need a parent's permission slip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
Which I don't know why, if your parents wanted you to be a knight, they wouldn't have just put that in the package already. I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But I do think it's funny because it's kind of an allusion to a lot of website ads for kids on like Nickelodeon.
Right.
Something that always like ask your parents' permission before you play.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was visualizing there. Is like, this is another plant for that ask your parents permission thing.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
So you backtrack, you go back to your house. But when you get there, you find out that your sister was like jealous of you, that you got to go on this big adventure to the castle, and she wanted to go on her own adventure. So she goes into a place called Shadow Glen Woods, which is as creepy as it sounds with a name like that. So your parents ask you to go and rescue her and bring her back, and you do it. You fight a little mini boss thing. And your parents are like proud enough, surprised enough that they are like, okay, you sure this is what you want to do? And they sign the paperwork, and you get to run all the way back to the castle and start your knight training.
Aw, that's nice.
This is the first time. This is like, if you rushed through it, even, it would probably be like an hour or two into the game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But this is the first time where a lot of the like fighting mechanics are kind of explained, because you gotta learn how to be a knight.
Okay, that makes sense.
But a lot of what you're doing as squire training, aside from hitting practice dummies, is just chores.
Okay.
I think the first one is you are on sewage duty, so you have to go down into the poop water and break up all the blockages and.
Oh,
yeah,
that sounds unpleasant.
Yeah. Yeah, the water down there is all like green and bubbly and kind of like stink clouds coming out of it.
Magic creatures poo green.
Yeah, well, there little like creatures down there. I think they're called like blorgs or something, but they just look like snot piles.
Oh no,
like snot slugs.
Yeah.
And then you destroy some crow nests that are keeping the king from sleeping because they're too loud.
Oh, okay.
And then you get sent on your first like actual mission to Kogaham. I think it's Cogham, that no one really wants to do, because just like that's a like little nothing dumpy town. The main, you were asked to like go find this head knight, and he's just like that place sucks. I just want to stay here and eat.
Okay.
And so you want to do the right thing. Just you go and take care of it by yourself. And you get there, and there's these Ixie raiders, and they're kind of like centaur looking kind of guys.
Okay.
But they're just attacking this town. So you have to go and save the town, but then also go and fight off the head Ixie guy. you travel through this like plateau of stuff and do some jumping around. There's these giant crows that can
Oh,
attack
fun.
you. And there's other ixies along the way that try to fight you.
Right.
The fighting in this game is really hard because sometimes like an enemy just like doesn't want to be hit, and there's nothing you can do to really change that. And then there's other times where the enemy really wants to hit you, and there's nothing you can do to change that. Like
Wow.
you can't block, you can't dodge. Well, you can block, but it's like I wanted to hit you anyways, so your block
Oh,
doesn't matter.
okay. All right.
You just kind of have to deal with as you go along. But once you get back, you kind of get praise for that. The king promotes you to being an actual knight instead of just a squire in like the lowest realm, the group of knights,
Okay.
but you're still a knight.
Oh, cool.
And then you get sent to go, take a nap. You did a good thing. You can go rest for a little bit. And while you're resting, a villager from Illison's Glade, who Illison's one of the fairies, he comes by and is like, hey, things are kind of not great here, and Illison isn't acting like herself, and we need some help. And
Okay.
the king sends all of his knights there, except you because you were asleep.
Okay.
And so you wake up, you find out that the castle is empty, and one of the older knights who's there is like, yeah, they all went, but no one's come back yet. So maybe you want to go check on them. And you go, you get to Illison's Glade, and they're all like captured. They're all in like cages spread across the village.
Oh, okay.
And they've been attacked by the Wereloop King.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay.
Which is in a way it's like the closest to like a zombie thing that is going on, because
Oh,
Tor is a loop and then you're fighting wereloops. I
interesting.
guess it's like
Yeah.
werewolf too, but
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
both wolves already.
Oh, cool.
um
Yeah. Interesting.
yeah. So you rescue all the knights, and they just they don't even want to help anymore. They're just like, I feel like a loser being captured. So they just kind of rush back to the castle. And you make your way up this tree house, and you
Okay.
find Illison is being like
Mm.
pushed around by the Wereloop King, and he's just like, I don't have time for this. And he sends his bodyguard, who's this like massive, like twice your height tall Wereloop with 4 arms.
Okay.
Yeah, this crazy looking guy, and you fight him, and once you defeat him, you go and try to fight the Wereloop King, and he like snatches this amulet off of Illison and jumps off the side and runs away. And so you go to be like check on Illison, and these purple clouds move in and start like brainwashing her, and
Oh.
she gets like possessed by the Darkest Faerie, and she like scratches at you, and you stumble backwards and you fall out of the treehouse. And when you get to the bottom, everything is completely different. Like it's all the purple clouds have taken over, and there's these brute grunt little creatures that are like kind of devil looking in a way.
Okay.
And you're like, I don't know what's going on, but I just kind of got to get out of here. And like all the villagers are gone. They've locked themselves indoors, and you make your way
Wild.
back to the castle, and all the stores have been shopped. And if they're or the store have been shopped, all the stores have been closed.
Right.
And if there is anybody out and about, they have this like swirly purple effect in their eyes.
Okay.
And it's obviously the Darkest Faerie's influence, but it's weird because it doesn't make them evil. It doesn't like make them want to work for the Darkest Faerie. It just kind of makes them angry and a little
Okay.
like annoyed.
Okay.
And later on in the game, like if you go to shops where people are still possessed by the Darkest Faerie, they just like jack up their prices.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's some comment there that they're trying to make, some
Yeah.
statement.
But as you get back to the castle, you kind of sneak around, and the Darkest Faerie is like pacified the king. He's kind of useless, and she's there with her sisters.
Okay.
And they notice that you aren't you're not under control, and she's just kind of like, that's weird. kill him and
Yeah.
and
Oh no.
bring his body to me so I could figure out why it didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So her sisters start attacking you and destroying the castle, and you have to like jump through the wreckage to try and escape. And you get to this like back room and jump down the chute and land in the back down in the sewers, and you just float off through the sewers on a little piece of wood in the poop water, and, and that's the end.
Oh wow. That's the end of the game?
No.
Okay.
That's just the end of Act 1.
Okay.
Is he like almost
right.
getting blown up and
Yeah.
floating through the sewers?
Oh, yeah, that's a interesting cliffhanger point, right? Or
Yeah.
transition. There you go.
Yeah. And then you start Act 2, and it starts with another cutscene where you're introduced to Roberta, she is a like, sorcerer in training, but also like a sorcerer in training in secret.
Okay.
All right. But her real job is a diplomat for another kingdom called Brightvale. And so they arrive in Fairyland, and she's there with her mentor and other diplomat named Saradar, and they're just like, we need to go talk to the Queen Fiora, who's another fairy, and it's like, hey, we've been noticing these dark clouds. Is there anything you can do to help us? So you get there, you get to like walk around Fairyland. It's a pretty small area, but there's still plenty of interesting things to do that you don't have to do at all.
That's cool.
Yeah, it just kind of helps flesh out the world, makes it feel more exciting.
Just gives you options.
Yeah. And so you do that, you have like a little meeting with the queen, and she's like, yeah, I've noticed them too. Let's schedule a council meeting with everybody tomorrow and figure out what's going on. And so you make your way to your bedroom, and when you wake up, the Darkest Faerie has gotten there, and she's like captured the queen and and taken over.
Oh no. Okay.
And there's one like really creepy cutscene where you go and find Saradar, and you're like, hey, things are weird here, like what's going on? And he's like, oh, it's all good, now we're gonna teach you dark magic. And you can see he's like possessed too.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I kind of remember some of those where they're like,
yeah.
I remember seeing those when you were playing. Yeah.
So you try to make your escape. You're like, this is too much for me, I just got to get out of here. And the way you end up deciding to do that is by taking the in this cutscene scene, she goes to one staircase and it gets destroyed, and she's like, oh, what am I gonna do now? Like, oh, the endless staircase.
Oh yeah.
And so you get to the endless staircase, and this is where, like, when we first started playing the game, this is where we stopped.
Yes.
Because we couldn't figure it out. Like, our young brains were like not developed enough to figure out how to work the stupid staircase.
Yeah, I actually remember that part, and that it would just keep going and going and going, and you're like this is kind of weird. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, and we had kind of figured out, like, we had noticed that there's these statues every now and again, and their arms would kind of switch direction, like one would be pointing down and the other one would be pointing up. And we're like, yeah, I feel like we got to follow this, but we'd only follow it a couple of times, and we're like, it's not working. Like, it looks the exact same. Right. Like, this one was pointing up and this one is pointing down, and we're just kind of going back and forth between the two levels of stairs.
Right.
And then so we just stopped there, and I think it was for a couple of years that we didn't come back to it, until I think Vern one day was just like, I'm gonna just try it, and I'm just gonna follow these statues as long as I can and see what happens. And if you do it like, I don't know, 10 times or so, you get to the bottom and you get to an actual doorway.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then you just like, you're in the library where you had been before, and it's like, okay, now I know how to get out of here. And so you rush out, and you're about to jump back on your carriage to fly away, and the Darkest Faerie like shoots a bolt at you or hits you with a tornado or something, and you get knocked down from the sky to fall down to the earth. I don't. Oh no. I guess Neopets are kind of like immune to falling.
Okay.
She falls from really, really high.
Oh no. They're made of bouncy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they look pretty soft.
Yeah. They're so
um
fluffy.
yeah. But that's the end of Act 2.
Okay.
And so Act 2 is really, really, really short. Like it
Yeah.
zips by pretty fast. But up until that point, you played about a third of the game so far.
Okay.
And then you get into Act 3, and that's going to be almost probably another third or more
Okay.
of the game.
All right.
It's a huge section, but it starts with Tor and Roberta meeting. Like Tor is like floated through the sewers enough and ends up on this beach. And right as he gets there is when Roberta falls from the sky and like crashes.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you meet and you decide like, hey, I just came from Meridell and it's not looking good up there. And she's like, yeah, I just came from Fairyland and it's looking pretty bad too. And so you're like, Roberta's like, well, let's make our way to Brightvale. My uncle's the king there, and it's not taken over yet, so maybe we can get some help there.
Okay.
So you get there, and you talk to the king, you talk to her uncle, and he's like, yeah, I've noticed all the other villages are around us have been overtaken, and there's these dark clouds coming from everywhere. And you can see, like, when you're walking around the map, you can see like these little tornadoes of dark clouds popping up throughout the map.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which is really cool. Like before in the first act, before the Darkest Faerie really took over, you could see some of those places, but they just look, mostly normal. And you're just you're kind of just like, oh, I wonder if I'm ever going to get to go there. And then you see them a little later on with the dark clouds over them. And it's cool. You get to see like the actual progress of the game.
Right. Cool.
So you talk to the king. You tell him that like, yeah, these clouds, they drive Neopets crazy and just kind of make them angry. And the king is like, yeah, I think Brightvale is gonna fall in the next couple days if you guys don't do something about it.
Oh wow.
So you go to the library there at the castle and do some research. And you find out like how the Darkest Faerie was captured the first time. Okay. And how you can maybe capture her again.
Right.
So you decide like if you find out in one of the books that they use this specific wand to capture her, and it's buried deep under Meridell, the other kingdom. So you're like, okay, well, if we go there and get this, then we can vanquish the Darkest Faerie. But to do that, you have to also weaken her influence, I guess. And you have to go around and save all the other towns.
Oh, okay.
There's kind of a lot of them. There's Bogshot, which is like a swamp kind of place. Market Town, which is really, really rich.
Okay.
And it's really cool because when you go there and you fight some of the enemies, they're like loaded, so they'll drop like thousands of Neopoints every time you defeat one of them.
Oh, there you go.
There's Wereloop Woods, Tor's Farm, Cogham again, and Ilson's Glade again.
Okay.
And you go there and finally fix everything. My favorite was always the Wereloop Woods because it's kind of like this haunted woods looking thing, but it's a really big area you have to go through. There's a witch who lives there who will help you out, but you have to go into these like underground swamps to find these ingredients for a potion she's making.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
And then she tells you like, oh, well, you have to go look through some of these crypts, and there should be somebody there with a key into the Wereloop headquarters. And the crypts are really, really cool. They're all like a little different. They all have their own kind of personality to them. If you're lucky and can guess which one to go to first, you only really have to go to the one because that'll be the one with the you need a Wereloop Fang to get into it.
Okay. All right.
So you do that, you're able to get into the Wereloop headquarters, and then the game makes you split up. Beforehand, in the Act 3, you can change between Roberta or Tor whenever you want. Which they both are like function about the same, but Tor is a knight, and so he uses sword, shield, and stuff. And Roberta, being a sorcerer, can actually like shoot out magic, so you could hit like higher up targets and
cool.
aim attacks, and maybe also like fight from further away.
Gotcha. Got it.
But the Wereloop ones makes you split up, and you play as Roberta first, and she finds what you're looking for there. You're looking for Illison's amulet that was stolen by the Wereloop King.
Okay.
And she finds it first, but it's a trap, and she gets captured. And Tor is like, I don't think he knows that she was captured, but he's just like, I just got to do my part, I guess. And you make your way down, and you find out that she's captured, and you finally fight off against the Wereloop King.
Okay.
So it's a good part. It's a fun section. And also, while you're going through all these different areas and villages, the Darkest Faerie hires an assassin
oh no
to hunt you guys down. And he's like genuinely pretty creepy.
Okay.
Like, even for a kid's game, he's just like, it's like, I'm actually going to kill you, and it's going to be painful.
Oh no. That's good. That's good.
So once you do that, once you free all the villages, there's some things that you have to do, like traveling back and forth, getting certain items to help you get into Meridel, because around Meridel there's an extra strong force field that you can't just run right into it.
Okay.
So once you free all the other places, you're given this orb that helps you like break through the barrier, and you go into this like thieves' den, and they've dug this secret passage into underneath the castle.
Okay.
But it's funny. It always makes me think of when they find out that there's secret catacombs under the castle. You're reading it in one of the books, and the way it demonstrates that is like past castles that the other one is built on.
Oh, okay.
And it reminds me of that the Monty Python, the Holy Grail,
right?
The castle, and he's like, first castle I built burnt down, sank into the swamp.
Yeah.
Second castle burnt down and sank into the swamp.
Yeah.
But the fourth castle stood.
That's funny. That maybe it's an inside joke with the programmers, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Very cool.
So yeah, you make your way down, and it does seem like each section of it is a different castle. Like there's different aesthetics to it.
Yeah.
But when you get to the very bottom, you fight this like skeleton dragon that's really cool, and you the wand is right across the way. So you go get it, you get your way out, and you free Meridel eventually once you make your way to the top.
Yeah, okay.
And then you fly back to Fairyland to try and help her. But when you get there, you kind of get tricked into giving the Darkest Faerie the wand. Because she's like camouflaged herself into looking like Fiora.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they start having a fight. You realize that they're both kind of invincible, so you can't really do anything about it. And Fiora is like, you need to go find this sorcerer. Her name is Genora, I think.
Okay.
Anyways, you need to go find her, but she is trapped in time like 1,000 years ago. So she creates this portal for you, and you kind of get knocked into it.
Okay.
And when you wake up, you're in Act 4.
Okay. And
you're in this secret frozen in time city of Altador.
Okay.
It looks very like Roman inspired. But when you wake up there, you're in the Hall of Heroes, and you realize that some of the statues are like people that you've met along your travel. Yeah. Who were like heroes who helped save Altador, but one of them was the Darkest Faerie who
okay.
But she, wanted to take the power for herself, and so you get there and you have to go and wake up all the heroes.
Fun.
Yeah. And this is another like really big chunk of the game, because Altador itself is a really big city and has 5 distinct districts.
Wow.
Each with their own purpose and economy and everything. So there's an arena district, there's a money district, there's like an animal or park district,
okay,
and then they call it the bazaar district, but it's kind of like a stealth, sneaky part of the mission.
Yeah.
they're all like they're pretty quick little sections if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
The only one that is pretty tricky is the swift sneaking one, because you do have to be very precise with some of your movements. And there's this section where you have to. There's a gateway that has like an eye on it, and if it sees you, it'll keep the gate up and not let you out.
Okay.
All
right.
So you have to push a button that'll close the eye and drop the bridge, and make your way across it without like waking up the eye.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And also in that, like, there's other of the more of the brutes and the
Right.
demon like creatures, and if they see you or if they touch you, it wakes up the eye.
Oh no.
And the first two aren't too bad, but there's one where there's two eye buttons.
Oh.
And you have to close both of them and drop the bridges for both of them and make your way across without getting caught, and it is hard.
Difficult. I still have nightmares.
Yeah. Once you finally do it, you make your way back to the Hall of Heroes and make your way down to the basement of that. And that's where you find Janora, who was the person who originally came up with the system or the amulet that froze Darkest Faerie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I forgot to say, like, the Darkest Faerie's like goal with like taking over these lands, she was gonna like announce her return, and the way she decided to do that was bringing Fairyland crashing down on top of Meridel.
Oh no.
And so she's like, I'm just gonna completely wipe out these two kingdoms in one go. And so in the final boss battle, you have like a timer that's, Fairyland is falling, and you have to defeat her before it hits the ground.
Oh no. That's
and you can lose, like it'll let you lose, and
that
you just have to try again.
That's very dark.
Yeah. But you finally defeat her, and she gets trapped in stone again, and she gets, instead of, I guess, throwing her at the bottom of the ocean, which probably wasn't a great idea the first time.
Yeah.
They put her in the courtyard in Fairyland, so people can always have an eye on her.
Oh, there you go.
Visiting Fairyland, you can see like, that's a real person trapped in stone there.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
And then that's it. There's not really any after game. It's just like, all right, game over. You don't really get to explore anymore. But yeah, it's a really good game.
So I'm always, it's been interesting, and there is a storyline that is obviously a story of any game, right? And it's always an interesting thing where there's I think the effort is to make all the extra tasks make it seem more like reality. Like, what you can get distracted. Well, I was playing, Veronica's trying to teach me how to play video games, try the new ones, and like I can sneak around this. I think it's Skyrim that I'm playing. I don't know, but I can just sneak around and steal stuff from people forever. You know, and I'm like, how much gold can I carry? And but she's like, oh, you gotta play the story. I'm like, okay. And then so I try to play the story, and it's just instant death. I'm like, this is I'll go steal stuff now.
I don't know why she's so concerned about getting you to play the story, because she told me, like, for a long time she never played the story. Like, she never learned how to do the like dragon shouts, which is like the big thing in the game, because she never even completed like the very beginning of the main story.
Yeah, I think she
just wanted to go around and do her own thing.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to show me different actions that you can take, how to fight better in case I do get, and try and maybe get me stronger so I could fight better. I don't know. And also knowing that there was a very limited amount of time that I was going to devote to it. So
right.
But yeah.
I think this is, my first really like introduction to like open world games where you can just kind of do whatever you want. There's lots of games before this that were like that, but this is my first one.
Yeah.
I really like that it's not too handholdy. It doesn't like want you. It doesn't give you things to do. It's like very obviously pointing you in this direction.
Yeah.
A lot of times you may go someplace, and just from wanting to be thorough and wanting to explore everything, get something that you didn't even realize you're going to need later on.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I really like that it rewards natural curiosity.
Oh.
There's so many parts of it that so many like hidden caves and things that you don't need to do. Like they're not gonna impact the game, but if you take the time to look around, you may get a little treat or like potion or something just to help you out along your way.
Oh, cool.
And then it's also like instantly very charming.
Yeah.
Like it's very nice to look at. It's a very like for being an early mid 2000s PlayStation game, it looks really nice.
Yeah.
And has it very it has its aesthetic and does it very well. And I think that's one of what helps you want to complete the more challenging parts of the game is that like, well, at least it's nice to look at, so I don't mind doing this again. When like I've played things like Dark Souls or Bloodborne for a little bit that are extremely difficult games,
right?
But they're also they're also really dark games and really graphic is probably the best word, but when you die 10 times in a row after 10 seconds, you're just kind of like, I'm not having fun and this isn't fun to look at, and I'm just gonna stop. And maybe I'm sure lots of people don't feel that way, but that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Well, that was
my same. Oh, go ahead.
Well, that's what keeps me coming back to anything that I want to look at or play again, is because it's kind of fun to see.
That was the same thing that got me into playing Animal Crossing, because I was like, it's just like you're doing chores and paying your debts. That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
But the world itself and the characters are very charming and very nice to look at.
Right.
As you're like, I don't mind if I'm just like, indebted to this raccoon forever.
Right. Exactly.
He's a cute guy.
Well, very cool. So what's go ahead.
I think it also has like repercussions in the game.
Okay.
There's a challenge or a quest in the first act where you meet some guy who is hunting dragon axe, who are like little pest creatures who attack you.
Okay.
And he's like, if you go and hunt a couple of them and bring me their teeth, I'll give you some money for them, just to keep the population down. And if you do it, he doesn't give you any more instructions than that. So you do it, you kill a couple, and you bring him the teeth, and he's like, okay, cool, here's some money. If you want to go kill some more, you can. And you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna kill as many as I can.
Right.
At that point.
Oh no.
And then you bring him a lot, and he's like, that's way too much. Like, you're hurting the ecosystem. I'm not giving you money anymore.
Oh wow. Oh, that's cool.
He takes the teeth, and he's like, you killed too much. You don't deserve money.
Oh wow. Okay. That's the.
And it's still plenty frustrating, but it's that same charming and pleasant atmosphere that it's like, well, I can't be that mad.
Right. Well, but you learn, and it's fun that way. So that's good. Well, cool.
Last but not least, I have like, well, what do I learn?
Yeah, I'm interested.
What have I like brought in? What has this game like brought into my life as like in my outlook?
Okay.
And I'm sure it's not the only thing, but in some ways, one of the things is to be curious and to keep your eyes open for things. I'm always just looking around at stuff whenever I'm walking around, and whether or not I remember it for very long is another story. But I do still to this day, like, am very like observant and trying to notice little details and things, because it makes the world seem more full and more interesting.
Yeah, gotcha.
I think it showed me that like people are interesting and there's a lot of value in conversation, and not every conversation you have has to be to your benefit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Having a conversation, someone can just be about
having a conversation,
saying hi to them. Yeah.
Well, that's a good lesson. Is some things are done for the sake of their existence. So conversation for conversation's sake, or good for good's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing. Like, you don't really need motivation to do good. Like, you don't get this like tragic backstory or this huge inciting incident.
Right.
With any of the characters, or the villain is just like, the world is good and I want it to be bad.
Okay.
And the hero's just like things are bad and I want them to be good.
Right.
And that's about as much motivation as you really need to do and go and do good things.
Yeah. I like
You
that.
should just want to do good things because it's a good thing to do.
Right. Right. I like that.
And then just more general in video games, I think they make you feel much more attached to the world.
Yeah.
I'd argue probably more than any other art form, really, more than like film or books, because all the decisions are yours.
Yeah. I think if you could do it in the context of they engage with the player, or like if you go and see a movie, you've spent the 2 hours, you watch it, you might be really devoted to it. If it's a action movie, you might get characters from it, you might get action figures. But when it's a video game, it does become a little bit more all encompassing because you have tied yourself to those characters. I think it's probably it's closer to reading characters in a book, but then there's the added visual that and also controlling the story more. You control the story a little bit more than you do in a book, a lot more than you do in a book.
Right. Yeah. There was a YouTube video. I don't know if you've seen him, but it's from Nakey Jakey.
No,
is the channel.
I haven't seen that.
But he was talking about horror in video games.
Yeah.
And he starts in like if you're watching like a horror movie, you just kind of have to sit there and watch this thing happen. And in a video game, like if there's something something horror coming towards you, you can choose to do nothing. You can choose to put the controller down and just let it happen. But more often than not, you're going to be like, oh man, I'm scared. This is happening to me. I have to do something.
Right. Exactly. Well, very cool. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's Neopets for you.
All right.
Probably my favorite game. I have played quote unquote better games, but that's the one that I can always enjoy coming back to and always enjoy playing and finding new ways to play it too.
Yeah.
Because it's loose enough of a game structure to where you can do what you want.
Right. Yeah. Well, I have nothing to say about that because my favorite is also a silly game. So playing Katamari. So
yeah.
So I can appreciate that. But good deal.
Yeah, that's all I have. That's the end.
All right. Well, I'll be preparing something. I'll be in Mexico this next week, so so we'll see what comes of that. I'll have a little bit of downtime, I hope. So yeah, it'll be good. Well, thanks, Max. That was an enjoyable conversation, and should be a good end result. So
yeah, thanks. Yeah, I glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was fun to do some like extra research on the game and find out more about it. I did find out that Altador was this new city to the game, and then a couple months later, after the game came out, they released it into the actual Neopets website as a place you could go to and do mini games there
as a tie-in.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Well, we'll have to figure out an outro statement, but great job. Looking forward to the next conversation and hope it's a fruitful one.
All right. That sounds good.
Thanks.
We'll see you later.
All right. Take care.